Okay. You ready, KK? Don't trip.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. You go ahead, Bob.
Hey, girl. Camera or don't look at the camera?
All right, that's it.
Sorry.
Annual events. The first year was a success, and this year's even more success. Y'all see all that food? And we are excited to be here. We, as you know, we had a housewarming last night, so we went from housewarming to a doggone tea party. Never again. We're not doing this again. I promise y'all, we go to a party and nothing tomorrow. But here we are, and we are happy to have a lot of family in town. It's good to see my mother, my sister. Give them a round of applause. And then all of Keandra's family is so beautiful. With that being said, I want to bring to the stage the queen of the hour, the one and only Keandra Michelle. Let's give her a round of applause. Woo! Give her a round of applause.
Oh my God.
All right. Let's give her one more round of applause as she comes to the stage.
So cute. Oh my gosh. You know, like when you have a vision in your head and when it like comes out. It's beautiful. So it's just beautiful to just see y'all, all of my family and friends, and y'all look so cute. Like y'all like tea party stuff. Thank you to my family, everybody for setting up. Okay, so long story short, I got engaged last night. It's a fiance, but so I didn't know if I should put it over the glove. If that was like too much. Okay, my family gotta show me what to do. Y'all help me out. Wow. That's smart.
I do again.
We do forever.
Okay, so come on, everybody, gather around. First of all, I just want to say a few thank yous. Looking at everybody, y'all all look so beautiful. Everybody who's here holds a special place in my heart. And I'm a very emotional speaker, emotional person. Everybody knows that I love very, very hard. I love with my heart. And
Sit down, Keandra. Sit down so you can relax. There you go.
I just want to have a good time. I want to celebrate because I survived.
Yes, you did. Thank you, Jesus.
Y'all are like looking like classroom, and it is just so funny. But y'all all look so cute. Are you getting my angle? Like they are funny.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so
I got
cute. Y'all are just so cute looking at y'all faces. But I'm just grateful and thankful to be here, to be alive. I want to share a little bit about my story for those of you guys that don't know. When we moved to Georgia, my mom and I had a place, 2-bedroom townhome, and we was close. I'm the baby anyway, but me and my mom got real close because like everybody else was like moved out the house and like it was just me and her. Me, her, and my dog Milo. So my mama was very deep, and she was an evangelist. She loved God, and she knew of history, like on her dad's side of the family, but not enough to be like thinking that it would be like something too strong. So she felt something, and she just didn't say nothing because she was just probably praying it away. But finally, she did get a mastectomy. And what I want to say is this. I want my sisters to join me, and I wanted this to just not be about me, but also my sisters, because they were with me. They all have their own personal journeys as well, but all of our stories connect. So I wanna, I'm not gonna go into too much detail because I want them to join me, but all I wanna say is that I want you guys to advocate for yourself. And if you guys have to be serious about your health, like if you feel something, you have to like say something. Because the reason why we are dying from breast cancer is because we're waiting too late. And when we go to the doctor, it's stage 4. It's metastatic. We can't cure it. You know, I found mine at stage 1. I'm so grateful. You know what I mean? We caught it early. You know, but you gotta speak up about yourself. If you feel something, then you gotta go to the hospital. You gotta go to the doctor, and not just be thinking that you can, like, you know, drink some ginger and lavender and pray and that's it.
Right.
You gotta actually go to the doctor, and you gotta tell them, I feel something, I don't feel good, whatever. Tell them to send you the bill. If you pay it, you pay it. It ain't going on your credit anyway. If it is, it's supposed to be removed. Just go to the doctor. I'm serious. Go to the doctor. If you feel something, I want you to say something. But I was diagnosed in October 12th, my niece's birthday. And every year I want to do a tea party. Just because I like tea and I like these cutesies anyway. And I want to continue to bring awareness. I funded and did all of this myself. I mean, paid for it all by myself. You know, my family and friends helped me and stuff, but you know, I want to educate myself. April, she has a nonprofit organization, Survivor's Nest. Ivor's just now starting her nonprofit. So we're learning. Anissa, she's got I Will Survive. So it's like my mother-in-law, she has nonprofits. So y'all just help me and pray for me because I want this to be big and it's not about me. I want it to be about awareness. But I also want to celebrate every year because I survived. You know what I mean? And they tell you, like, in the cancer community, you have to like celebrate the milestones because they're real. They're real and they mean something. So I'm here. I love everybody. I want us to have a good time. But we will go next to the panel, and Ivor will just ask us some questions, and we'll talk, and we'll open it up for you guys to have any questions. And y'all eat.
I am about to bring up 4 amazing women I've had a chance to meet over the course of years. And
Okay, boy.
so let's give her a round of applause as she comes up. His name to come on up. So let's welcome the older sister, the leader, Casey. Come on in, Casey. Let's welcome Casey. Out your way. And followed by Casey is the second youngest. Oldest. They all so young. Come on up. Let's welcome Keisha.
Thank you, Isaiah.
Yes, come on up. And now the third sister, the one and only Kanisha. And last but not least, the organizer, the queen of the hour, Keandra Wade.
Fast forward to 2020. By the way, I'm originally Nigerian. So I came to America 5 years ago. I didn't know much about cancer. So 2020, end of 2019, beginning of 2020, I was working in a medical facility where I used to see a lot of medical records. So I used to see a lot of oncology, this and that. So I was very inquisitive, so I started doing my research. And that's when I started to learn about cancer. Back in Nigeria, like, a lot of people have cancer, but they're probably like diagnosed with something else. Some people end up passing away and they never even knew that it was cancer. But then, when I started doing the research, I got to find out that my grandfather actually had prostate cancer, and I lost my uncle to cancer 2 years ago. So 2020, when I started doing the research on oncology, this and that, I started learning about cancer. And I was in this phase where I was asking God to show me a way to use my talents to be able to help people. By the way, I'm a makeup artist. I've been doing it for 10 years now. I was at that phase where I wasn't really getting satisfaction from it, but I still wanted to do it because makeup literally brought me to America. And, I always say it's a part of my story. So that was when God put it in me to help these ladies, right? Because they go through chemotherapy, some of them lose their hair, and in America, your hair is your pride as a woman. I was that kid with short hair, and I have 3 brothers, so they always bullied me. So I only had 2 options, to either stand up for myself or, let them bully me. And I chose to stand up for myself. So I've always been this confident person. Even with my short hair growing up, you can never tell me that you're cuter than me. that's my confidence level. That's how, big it was. So when God put it in my heart to start doing makeup on survivors, and to interview them while they talk about their story and all whatnot, it just made sense because I'm like, it's everything I stand for. Right, so I was going to start in 2020, but then pandemic hit, so I started in 2021, and that's how I met my lovely sister. I call her my twin sister. So that's how I met Keandra. So I don't want to talk too much, I just wanted to give you guys a backstory. Now, from talking to Keandra, I do know that the Sans girls, that's what you call it, right? The Sans girls, each and every one of them have a story to tell. Because like Keandra said at the beginning, her mom had cancer, right? So I just put together a list of questions to go over. So I'm going to start with you, Kishay. My first question was, how did it start? Like, when did you realize you had cancer, and how did it start?
I always knew about breast cancer, the back of my mind, but it was always something that I was very nonchalant about. Before my mom passed away, the doctor told her that, my mom has 4 girls. So the doctor told my mom, one of your girls is gonna get it. You need to have your daughters checked, and one of your girls is gonna get it. So, I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, I'm not gonna get it, it ain't gonna be me. So, but it was always a fear in the back of my mind. I had never had a mammogram. And my first mammogram is when I got diagnosed for breast cancer. So I found out in January of 2021. I had just turned 45. I was always like a small breasted girl, and I will always just check myself. And a couple of days before I turned 45, I checked myself, just feeling my breast, and I felt a little lump. And I'm like, what is this? And it was as small as a little almond. It was very small. And luckily, I had a physical coming up. So I was like, okay, I'll bring it up. So at the physical, so when I did go get the physical, I brought it up, and that's when the ball started rolling. And I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. I did 8 rounds of chemotherapy, and my main message for everybody is don't live in fear with these mammograms. My thing was I had small breasts, so I imagined myself standing on my tippy toes trying to put them up in there, and not that it was a vanity thing, but it was, I just didn't want to do it. I just did not. But early detection is the key. And don't be fearful, don't be scared, and that's my main message to everybody is just do it. Get that mammogram out the way and just go for it. So I was 45. Yes.
You're looking good.
2 years. 2 years.
All right, thank you, Kishay. My next question is to Kenisha. So tell us about your chemo and radiation journey, if you had chemo or radiation.
Well, I had both. I had,
All right. It's all right. Get it out.
I had both. I had 16 rounds of chemotherapy.
Wow.
Worst thing I ever went through in my life. I've been jumped on, shot at, jumps, everything. That is the worst thing I've ever been through in my life.
It's all right.
It was rough. It's like I don't know. The best way I used to describe it to everybody is like being pregnant with a hangover. So if you've been pregnant, if you had a hangover, put them together, it's just like ongoing. It never stops. I threw up so much. My tongue was raw. I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't taste anything. I couldn't get up. I couldn't move. Maybe my first 2 treatments, I was just like out of it. I never felt like I wanted to quit, but I just was like, this is too much. This is too much. It was too much. But like I said, 16 rounds, they got easier. The first 4 were really hard, like I said, and then the next 12, they began to get easier. It was just little things I had going on, just maybe side effects, a lot of just fatigueness. I had just like what's it called? The neuropathy. I had the neuropathy in my hands, really bad. Just like needles poking you, sticky. It was just that was real bad. But it didn't measure up to like the throwing up and the can't get out of bed and can't do anything. I couldn't smell anything, like my soaps, my deodorant, my regular detergent. Like it was bananas. Like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't eat anything that I wanted to eat. Like I was eating green apple Jolly Ranchers and sour pickles, like ugh, disgusting. Like eating those things, but it took me out of my whole life element. I lost my hair, my nails turned black, my toenails turned black. I lost every piece of hair on my body. That's probably the best thing I enjoy because I'm very hairy. I'm very hairy blood. I'm serious. I'm very hairy, and if I could get that little part right there, would not have to worry about shaving and the whiskers grow, the beard grow, wherever to go, baby. Let me get that little part right there. But it was like everything. I lost all of my hair. Radiation. I had to do 30 treatments of radiation. And this was after chemotherapy. After chemotherapy, I got my breast cut off, double mastectomy. And then I went to radiation because there was still cancer on the site after they cut my breast off. There were still tumors. I had stage 4 cancer. My tumors in my breast started off as cysts, and the doctors kept telling me, these are cysts, these are cysts, these are cysts. And I was just like listening to what the doctor was saying, like, okay, these are cysts, these are cysts, these are cysts, and I wasn't in any pain or anything like that. They would just get bigger and bigger to the point, like, it was just one day, like 2 days, 3 days ago, and then it was just popping off my chest, and I'm like, I just went to this doctor out here in Georgia, and she saved my life. She was like, girl, you got cancer. She didn't even, she tested me, but this was before, and she was just like, I'm gonna keep it real with you. These are tumors. And I don't care what nobody's been telling you, these are tumors. But I'm about to get you over here, some of my friends, there's some of my friends, there's some of my friends, and we're gonna stick you over here. No, this was the lady who sent me to Dr. Phillips. She's a friend of Dr. Phillips. So she put me in with Dr. Phillips. So, and as soon as I got in there and I walked in there, and it was like, this was happening all in the same day for me. I went to my regular doctor, got a checkup. Not a checkup because she already knew, sent me straight to the hospital, and I started doing stuff right then and there. First place I walked in, it said breast cancer. Oncologist. I Googled, what is an oncologist? Breast cancer. Okay. That's what this is. And so, like I said, after that, I went to radiation and I did 30 treatments of that. Radiation is just very exhausting. It's not painful. It's just very exhausting. If I could only got radiation, I would have just loved to have only radiation. But one thing I will say about going through chemotherapy, because everybody just say I'm tough, and I guess I am. It's just natural. I don't really try that. But as crazy as this may seem, I appreciate having to go through that.
Yes.
Because things that I was probably already going through was taking me somewhere else. Cancer, it saved me. It put me in a different place. It put me in an even different headspace than I already was strong-minded and headstrong. And then it just put me, like, I'm not about to quit. I'm not about to die. I'm not about to let this take me. I don't care what stage it is.
Yes.
I saw my mom get taken from this. I'm not going. And that was all I could think every day, to get up to go to chemotherapy. That's what I told myself every morning. I'm not going. Where I'm going? I'm not going anywhere. I'm on my way. I used to have chemotherapy every Wednesday after a while. First it was like 2 days a week, and it was like every Wednesday. And I used to be like, I love Wednesdays. This is my favorite day of the week. I love Wednesdays because it was getting pounding down. It was going down. It was killing the cancer. So, that's my journey with chemotherapy. I could go on, and radiation. It was, like I said, radiation was a struggle. Radiation was, it was a breeze compared to chemotherapy.
How was that for you in terms of your support system?
So that's crazy that this is the question for me, because I'm a giver, lover type of person. And sometimes I think the enemy even plays on my mind and be like, you don't have what you give. And God is funny, because when I went through this, first of all, Mr. Isaiah is the person that told me, like, you need to go to the doctor. And it was probably the size of this, just one of them. It was so little, but I felt it. And I was like, babe, feel this. And he jumped out of his skin and was like, you need to get that checked out. Like, okay. And I did. And like, he just supported me so much through it. Like, having a partner and that, like, we're dating, he was not my husband. Him deciding to stay and go through that with me, he didn't have to do it. We had only been dating a short while, and it was the pandemic in 2020, and then it was breast cancer at the end of 2020. And we just got through it together. It was hard. But to have him was just a blessing from us. I'm grateful, honestly. And then my friends, like, I have friends in Chicago, North Chicago, where I grew up, and they all flew in, like, at different times and stayed with me. Like, one of, like, my best friends, Fufu, came in town when my first chemo, and Angela, who's like my fairy godmother, cut my hair.
Wave your hand, Angela.
Wave your hand, Angela. She cut my hair, and Fufu said, I'm next.
And Fufu hair was down here. They full curls.
Yeah, so most people knew me before cancer, so y'all know I had long hair. And it was like my pride and joy. And Fufu had long hair as well. And when I find out that I was diagnosed, her and my friend Zuby, they're both not here. They're probably like, Fufu and Zuby. But yeah. Zonette and Keandra. Her name is Keandra, and they call her Fufu. I don't know. They from Chicago. That's funny. That's ghetto though. That's funny. No, I'm saying all of my names. It's funny. But yeah, I need to make y'all laugh anyway though. I just sit there looking at me like But no, Zuby came in town, and Fufu, they both came in town. But Fufu came in, and she stayed a month with me. And when she came in town, Angela cut my hair, and Fufu said she was next. And she was trying to go bald, and I was like, you doing too much. And she was like, I'm ready. Like, I'm gonna go through this with you. And I'm like, no, you're not, you're crazy. But she did a short little cut, you know, and like Kennedy's hair, and it was cute. And Zuby came in town, and when I tell you them girls was coming to town, they was cleaning our house and cooking for us. I think it was so sad. Every time they left, we was like, please, please stay. But the support system, you know, like, my friends came in town, and like, the best man holiday makes me sad, but when you see Mia in that tub, and like Nia Long in that tub, and she's crying because she don't want Mia to know she's crying. And you know, it's like, I know my friends have those moments. Angela was cutting my hair and just throwing her hair down. I hate cancer. And I was like, take it out. Like, just get your frustrations out, you know, but it's bogus, you know. It's like, so the support system is serious, it's real, and I'm not missing anybody. All of my friends, Precious, Shannon, Brittany, like Boo, like Davina, Ashley, like Jayla, like Christine, like everybody. My mother-in-law, ooh, she sent me a prayer. Oh my gosh. I was like, okay. And she was like, send this to everybody. You know? So, I did. But yeah, the support system is just, you know.
We know.
My mother-in-law, yes. But yeah, the support system is definitely real. And, you know, like I said, the devil tries to play on my mind, try to make me feel like I don't have nobody. And God was like, okay, I'll show you something. You know what I'm saying? So to just have all of the people come and love on me, it was amazing. And I couldn't have got through it without like anybody. Not even anybody who, even still now, you know what I mean? Like, I met Kayon after, but still the support, you know? Going to a doctor's appointment and nervous, you know, it's like all my, you know, people, they support me. My nieces, like everybody, you know what I mean? My brother, you know, so a support system is definitely needed.
Thank you. So before we go to the last question, I want to ask, how many of us here has ever been like a caregiver to someone that has had cancer or has cancer? Can you just raise your hands up, please? Okay. So can we all just put our hands together for this caregivers? Let's appreciate them. And I just want to use this platform to say thank you. All right, so my last question is for Casey. So, seeing that you were the only one who did not have cancer, right? But you had the gene. Can you speak on the gene and what preventive measure you took to, you know, prevent it? So,
She need tissue.
The reason I'm so emotional because these are all my little sisters. And
Yeah.
you got this, girl. You got this. Anybody that's a big sister know how it is for your little sister.
Yes,
And I couldn't do anything but support them. And so that was so hard, and so I'm so thankful that they are up here. So very thankful. So, and the crazy thing about it is, it all happened within 3 years. Kenesha, 2019, Keandra 2020, Keisha 2021.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. And for the doctor to tell Keisha, which the doctor told Mama, and we all know that at least one of your daughters are gonna have it. Do you hear, at least one of your daughters, do you hear how many of my mother's daughters had it? 3.
Yeah.
That's why it's important. You listen to what the doctor is saying, but Keandra always has been an advocate for herself. And anybody that knows Keandra, she gonna ask a billion questions. But I learned from my little sister, we're 20 years apart, that girl will advocate for herself. She will ask a million questions. Don't be mad at somebody if they wanna ask questions. That's her life.
Amen.
That she have a life that she wanna live. She got a husband, she want babies.
Amen.
So ask as many questions as you need to about, even if you don't know, I think this might be a lump, go to the doctor and see anyway. Don't let them tell you, oh, well, we're not gonna give you a mammogram because you're too young. My mother passed away, Keandra was 23, I was 43. So because Keandra knew that my mom, we knew that my mom passed away, Keandra was going to the doctor. Do you know they were telling her, no, she can't have a mammogram because she's too young. She would call me, she called me twice crying like, Casey, they won't let me have a mammogram. Her mother passed away. The doctor actually, Keandra was the first one to have the BRCA test. She was positive. She got diagnosed, 8 years later?
I got the BRCA test
When you were 25?
24. Right when Mama passed. I found out when I was 25, and I started getting my mammograms. They told me they told me in 2013 that I had a BRCA gene, and that I had a high chance of getting breast cancer, and that I needed to start thinking about having babies.
Right.
But they told me to read the paper, share it with my sisters, and then don't look, because don't live your life in fear, is what they told me. So when I told them, they was like, don't live your life in fear. And I didn't, and I went all through my 20s traveling, a flight attendant, and it wasn't until I was 31 that I got diagnosed.
Yeah. And I know I'm telling their story, but it's a part of my story.
Yeah, for
when
sure.
Keandra went to the doctor the first time, because she's thin, the doctor told her that maybe it's your rib,
He said it's probably your rib cage.
and it was a lump. That was March, and then you went back in October.
Yes.
So if she would have, even then, who knows, it could have been stage 0 at that time. But again, the doctor, and I believe in doctors, but all I'm saying is be an advocate for yourself. And so that's what I did. So I was a triple D. And when I found out, first of all, I was going to the doctor getting mammograms for 3, 4, 5 years in a row. I had cysts. So I was going to the doctors way more than them. Keisha wouldn't go, because like she said, she was fearful. Keisha and I are 7 years apart. I'm 54. Keisha is 47. Go to the doctor, Keisha, get a mammogram. She didn't want to go. So I would have cysts, so I would have to go and get that second level. I don't know if any of y'all ever been to the second level, but that's scary, because you have to actually stand there and wait for them to give you your results to say if you need to go see a breast specialist or not. And I went through that twice, where I had to stand there and wait for them to come back to say if I needed to see a breast specialist. And my mind is going through all these, okay, well, what if you have breast cancer? My mother passed of breast cancer. I know Kenesha was first. So I'm like, oh Lord. And then they would come back and they would say, nope, it's just still the cyst that we thought. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus. But after Keisha was diagnosed, I said, I'm having a double mastectomy, because I have the gene. I have the BRCA1 gene. And so that's what I did. They call it a prophylactic surgery, where you are doing preventive measures so that you won't have breast cancer. When I was 35, I had a hysterectomy because I had fibroids. So I did the double mastectomy 2 years ago, and I have to admit that was very hard, because I was a triple D and I went down to a C, and I kept saying, who's a C cup? So I found Beyonce.
Those sisters is big.
Yeah, and so I was like, that's small. And to me, because I was heavy, it was like my breasts were even smaller. And all of my sisters and, brother, son, y'all could plug your ears, but they all kept their nipples. I didn't. I wasn't able to because of my size. So I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I had no areolas, no nipples, no nothing. And I'm like, Lord. And then the other thing, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, I was like, I've been all their ages. I've been 47. I've been 38, 39. I've been 31. But God, you blessed me that I did not go through that. And can I say thank you? Because I know that my sisters have. But at the same time, I'm grateful, and I know that they would be grateful too, because they don't want anybody to go through the journey. That's why they're all up here now.
But yeah, and some people know it as Angelina Jolie. She did that. That was the first person that I ever heard that had the double mastectomy. But I have to tell you that that's not everybody's journey. That's not for everybody because, like I said, I didn't have the areolas. I didn't have the nipple. So the next year, I went back and he created some nipples for me. And because Kendra is such an advocate on the internet, it was a young lady that reached out to her, just like Evora, and she said she just wants to do it for free. So she tattooed me on some nipples and an areola, and then my brother-in-law and my kids wasn't here. I'll show y'all. Okay, they do. I show everybody like, look at this. I'll show you in a minute. I will. Because it's amazing. It's amazing.
Y'all want us to take 5? Y'all want us to take 5? It's a sports bar right on the street.
It's just a nipple. It's just a nipple.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I ain't coming for that.
But you know, my point is, I thank God for that young lady and for those advocates like Evora. So if you have something in your spirit that God has given you to bless other women with, I would definitely say go through it because that young lady, just don't know, she made me feel like a woman again. And I was already going to go back to my doctor to get my nipple or my areolas tattooed, but they was taking too long to call me. It was right on time. I was telling Keandra the story. We were at dinner, lunch, and I said, you know, I'm trying to get in with Dr. Loskins to get my areola tattooed. And she was like, somebody just reached out to me and said that she would do it for free. She said, I don't need it, but my sister does. And I went right over there, I think a week later, and bam, I had the dark, all that going on. So anyway, like I said, my journey is not everybody's journey, and although I was not diagnosed with breast cancer, but you know, seeing all of my sisters go through it, my mom passing away, you know, it was definitely a hard journey. But I thank God so much that we are all here today, looking pretty in pink and looking beautiful in blue. But you know, again, it's not us, but to God be the glory. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say. I know I said that before. When my mom was going through, that was the hardest thing. And I don't think anybody thought, none of us probably thought it wasn't gonna be us. But I feel when my mother went into hospice, she was in hospice for a day and a half. I feel, because I know the type of woman that my mom was, my mother sacrificed her life for us. That's what I believe. Now, I don't know if anybody else believe that, but I believe why my mama was out, she was talking to God and she was praying for her kids, her daughters, her son, and her grandkids, saying, okay, God, I'm sacrificing my life for them. And because of that, then we have no other choice but to be happy. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
I do want to say, I just wanted to say real quick, women are not the only ones who can get breast cancer. Men can get breast cancer. I'm going to say it again. Men can get breast cancer. Don't just think because you're a man, you get checked. I don't know what y'all got to get. I don't know the science on it. But always know that men can get breast cancer as well. It's just not for women.
You have to touch. So every month on your period, or every month at the same time, you know, so you start to be familiar with your breasts. So if something feels different, then you could say, oh, that wasn't there last time. And get a friend. Feel this. What that feel like? What you think that is? You know? And stop being so like dumb. Like, oh no, that ain't what I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to do your self-exams. So look up self-exams. I also have some cards around here, Kennedy, that you made. I look it up, but circular motion, you know, up and down, men, everything. Just check yourselves. Every time, when y'all in the shower, just check yourselves. That's all I want to say.
I wanted to throw more emphasis on what Kenisha said, that men do have cancer. So with my platform, I've been opportuned to interview a lot of people, and I've actually had to interview someone, a guy that had breast cancer. So this is not just, oh, they said men can have breast cancer. This is real life. Like, yeah, you guys can check that out. You can check my Instagram or something. I have interviewed, he's actually a Delta flight attendant, and he had breast cancer 18 years ago. So this is not just a story, this is real. Quick one, before we round up. Does anybody have questions for?
I don't have a question, but I have a comment. And I have to say it. I couldn't wait till you said it.
Stand up.
I'm gonna need some tissue too. These are my beautiful cousins. I watched y'all go through, each one of you all go through. You all don't know, but when you were going through, I was going through a state of depression. I was trying to figure out who I was. And it was in the moments that I would get online and I would see pictures of you and you were so gorgeous. I would see pictures of my cousin just so vibrant, like ringing bells and just walking down the hallway like I own this place. I would see Keisha coming off of work and just coming in her pajamas, but just beautiful as ever. And I remember when my auntie got diagnosed, and I remember coming to the townhouse, and we just came from church, and we were, I always spoke life into me. And she told me, and she said, "Baby, come here. You just said, feel this." When I felt my auntie's breath, it took something out of me. And I just instantly started praying because my auntie, for all that knew her, was full of light. Like she was a walking light. Like any encouragement you ever going through anything, she was that person that you go to. My auntie would come to me and she would pray for me. Like I said, y'all didn't know what I was going through, but she knew what I was going through. So to see y'all up here today, telling your story, it brings me so much joy. I remember reaching out to you all individually. This story is bigger than this just room. Like, I see y'all on platforms. I see y'all Lifetime movies. I see so much that God is getting ready to elevate you all to. My cousin Casey said that your mama made a sacrifice for y'all to live. I knew that already. I think I told Keisha that. I said Auntie left because she knew that you all were gonna make a major impact in this world. Not just this room, but in this world. And as y'all cousin, I'm here for y'all. And in any way that I can support, I promise you, I'm gonna do it. And I love y'all. This is just the beginning, man. This is just the beginning. God has so much in store for y'all. That y'all think y'all crying now, y'all gonna buckle down to y'all knees because y'all gonna save so many people's lives. Amen. Little did y'all know, y'all saved mine. Amen. Y'all saved mine. Right. I got a story to tell. Y'all know that already. I love y'all and I thank y'all for being so open because it's needed. Sorry.
About how I started this. Last year was kind of my first year where I was like, all right, I want to do an event. I started making bracelets, and you guys know me affectionately as Key Michelle. And I started making bracelets, and I call them arm candy, but I did it because I wanted something to wear with my pink dress at Delta when my mom had passed away. And I just was trying to make something cute to wear, like to remember her. And I like jewelry and stuff, and I don't know. So it just birthed into that, and I just started making like pink, like breast cancer bracelets. But then people would say, oh, well, I have liver cancer and lung cancer. Can you make it for this or that and that? So I started to do it, but like the actual tea party didn't really birth until last year. My grandmother passed away, and we drove to Mississippi and cleaned out her house, and we just found all these hats My grandma was a hat church lady. Missionary Clara Watts. M.P. Watts, sorry. And I was just inspired by it. So I was talking to one of my friends who is just so funny, ended up being the same name as my sister, Kanisha. And I met her 2 years ago on the internet, and she passed away in May, but she connected me in Ybor. But I was talking to her about how I wanted to do like a tea part. I wanted to do something. And she was like, do it, you can do it. And I'm like, I never did an event before. I don't know what to do. I don't have nobody who can help me. And she was like, I'm gonna help you. And she was like, meet me at this place tomorrow. And we ended up meeting at Black Coffee, and that's where I ended up having the event at. And she was like, come on, we're gonna ask them if they wanna do something for breast cancer. People always wanna do pink anyway. So they gave it to us for free, you know, but she decorated. So she and like Precious, like my friend Precious, wave your hand, Precious, who also does decor. She and her just really like put it together. But Kanisha, Kanisha Watts, my friend, she got breast cancer, and she ended up passing away from it. And me, her, and Ybor though got so close though, like in the last year. Her and Ybor had already knew each other, but when I came along, I mean, we would just sit on FaceTime, and they got me through so much. But I just wanted to take some time to honor her because she is the one. She's the one who helped me, like birth this thing, and it's crazy because I know I just would have talked myself out of it, you know, but she helped me. So, Ybor's having a pageant October 28th, if you guys are in Atlanta. Ybor is a former Miss Nigeria. And, right, you know how like you don't like bragging on yourself? I just brag on my friend real quick. She's the bomb. And she was in a pageant last year, and me and Kanisha flew out to California on Disneyland, and she had the pageant, and she was doing her platform. I don't know if you guys are familiar with pageants, but you have to have like some type of platform. So her platform is Evolved by Ybor, and she does makeup and interviews cancer patients, and she just giving us stuff, and she want to be our friend. So she was like, oh, you have to come to my pageant. And I was like, she was like, matter of fact, you're gonna be in it. And I was like, wait, let me come to one first. I ain't been in a pageant since I was young, okay? So I flew to Cali, and Kanisha was out there as well. And she was basically like serenading, y'all have to see the video. She's like serenading Kanisha, and she's like showing her video up. And they was just like, wow, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, since we lost Kanisha, and we just was like, you gotta do a pageant. And she was like, oh, I'm good, I'm done. The people had got on her nerves. You know, she was like, I'm not doing no pageant. And we was like, you definitely need to do it. She was like, I have an idea. She FaceTimed us and was like, I want to do a pageant for cancer survivors, but I don't want you guys to compete. But I want you guys to be delegates, and I'm gonna crown you. And Kanisha had an event last year, and she crowned us. So she was like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And she's doing it. We doing it. But it's in honor of Kanisha's family. So you guys definitely can support and come. I'll be there. I'll be a delegate. So yeah, we'll give you guys more information on that.
I don't know what to say. Alright. So Keandra said everything already. I have a event on the 28th of October here in Atlanta. The name of the pageant is called Beautiful Ashes Pageantry. And I would love for you all, as many of you that can attend, to come show your support. It's my very first event, so I'm very anxious.
and excited at the same time. So it's going to be beautiful. As she said, it's not going to be a competition, but it's just going to be. Kenesha was all about empowerment. If you knew Kenesha, I'm sorry. Can we take a minute of silence? If you knew Kenesha, she was a very inspiring woman. She was that person to, like, if you have an idea and you run it by habit, be rest assured that you're going to do it. Like, if you're not serious about something, don't take it to Kenesha. Because she's going to sit on top of it, you know. So she was all about empowerment. So I want to use this pageant to empower as many survivors as I possibly can. My platform is not just centered on breast cancer survivors, it's all types of cancer, including men. So as we proceed, hopefully in the future, we'll have something for men as well. Maybe like a combined pageant. But yeah, for now, it's just something for survivors. So I'd love if you guys can support me. You can follow me on Instagram, Evolve by Ivor. I have all the information there. I'm also selling tickets on Eventbrite. It's called Beauty for Ashes Pageantry. Okay, you have to put the pageantry because I think there are other Beautiful Ashes on there. So yeah, it's on the 28th of October and it's starting at 10:30 a.m. prompt. And I just want to say thank you guys and thank you guys for coming.
I have a couple of friends, one friend in particular who is a cancer survivor, and I'm thinking of her right now, Carolyn Hill in the back. But if there's any other cancer survivors in here, would you please wave your hand? All right, my beautiful friend in the back. So anyway, I just thought it would be nice not to honor anyone else who are also cancer survivors. And at the end of the day, we are all survivors.
Right, Mom.
Hey, congratulations on your second annual breast awareness. It was awesome. Continue to scale up, fly. It was beautiful. And hopefully we'll be here next time to celebrate again. Faye?
I was inspired, I cried, my emotions were, I'm full, and I will be back next year. I wasn't expecting to be reached on this level. It was just inspiring, all the beautiful sisters survive. So I just thank Keandra for just having this beautiful event, this pageant, everything, just everything. I was blown away. Congratulations.
And I love you so much. The moment you was introduced to me and I was introduced to you, I love you so much. You're so strong. I'm so proud of you, and I'm most definitely aware because of you. I have my days and my ignorance about it, but to know and see how strong you've been and got through it, you encourage me to make sure that I stay aware and healthy, not only for you all and my kid, not only for myself, but for my kids and you all. So thank you, and I'm forever, ever honored. And now you got me.
And yeah. Go ahead, babe.
Did you take a picture?
One more. All right, one more. Damn.
Okay, ready?
It's a commercial. Are we going
At the
like
same
that?
time.
Or we just
Yeah, towards me.
Okay, okay, we can do that.
One,
You gotta count it.
2, 3.
Yeah, no, that's my sister.
What's your
Where is she? Oh, she's the best. Y'all things is on this side, so y'all, I'm blocking you. Look, we all do it, so I don't know why we try to lean on each other.
All right, ready? Oh.
This is just a video.
I love Keandra. You know that. I'm there, always. My heart is right there with her. I love you.
I don't know that speaker, if it's not, please.
I feel so overly well, like overly blessed. Thank everybody for coming out to my 2nd annual breast cancer pink tea party. It was more than I could have imagined. I am so grateful and thankful that everybody came out. The decor, thank you, special shout out to my sisters for going through life with me, and my brother, and you guys are gonna stay tuned for more of me. Like, don't count me out, because hopefully Beyonce. No, I'm just playing, sorry. But yes. Thank you guys for coming out to my 2nd annual pink tea party.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Mwah. Mwah.